Hello and welcome to the wonderful world of old sheet music. I'm your host Nicholas Carroll. Tonight I am looking at Pas des Amphores. I don't know if I said that right or not. Opus 37? Probably not. This is by Cécile Louise Stéphanie Chamonade, which is actually the same composer from the last piece I did. And just like the other one, this person who had this sheet music before me, clearly, colored on her portrait. So it gave her lipstick and actually gave her a little pink around her dress there. Actually kind of tasteful if you were gonna draw on your book. Very different than the way people used to draw in textbooks when I was in school. So this is also from 1913, this particular sheet music, though the piece is much older, but as many of these types of sheet musics have, it has a description, a biographical sketch, and so on. This one says, this gifted lady still living on her beautiful estate de Vigenette near Paris and holding the governmental position of officer of public instruction has won an enviable position in the musical world. She showed her musical predilections at an early age and at 8 had won the commendation of Bizet. Her musical training was received from La Coupe Savart, Marsic, and Godard, and at 18 she made her debut as a pianiste, after which she appeared in various European capitals. She has received decorations and orders from different sources on account of her merit, notably the Order of Shafaqat from the Sultan of Turkey. Her works include compositions for orchestra, concertos, ballets, piano music, and songs. The latter have become very widely known and have been sung by famous singers. Her piano music is piquant and brilliant, exhibiting taste and elegance, and is in the keeping with the nature of the lady and of the instrument. This title of the piece, Amphora Dance, is a translation of the Greek word amphora for vessel. While the title of the piece thus refers back to an old Greek dance, the composer has designated that it is to be played similar to a mazurka in the Polish style, with vigorous characteristic rhythms, having generally an accent on the last beer. It's supposed to say beat, but it does say bear, like B-E-A-R. This latter condition, however, was not indispensable, and in this piece, the chief accent falls generally on the second beat. So, not only did they just claim that it was supposed to be on the last bear, meaning beat, misspelled, that is even not true. It's the second beat. I was going to object to that, so I'm glad that they put it in. The piece should be played with spirit, but yet not too loud, always with a very musical quality of tone and with elegance and chic. And yes, it does actually say that in parentheses. So, just like the rest of these in this series, there's no ad on the back, but there is a long explanation of the importance of music education, learning from a teacher. Clearly, as you could tell from the graffiti on the front, this was played by somebody, some student. It is ripped a little bit, and it has many markings, red pencil markings all over it, particularly of pedaling and those sort of things. Somebody wrote in D minor at one point here, even though it's kind of debatable on that. It does not really, it's G minor. Okay, I'm just going to say it. It's not D minor, it's G minor. But that is written in there with this red pencil, which has all kinds of check marks. So clearly that was written by the teacher, not the student. So bad teacher, that is incorrect. Let us see what it sounds like. there you have it. I tried to play a lot of very big fortissimo, forzando, simpres. I got a ton of those marked in here. There's one. And the description said vigorous and loud, so I tried to do that as much as I could, but it does have several piano sections. This was, I think, fairly repetitive. Like the last piece, it had that same theme, really repeated a whole lot, and I think if it was shorter, it would have been a better piece overall rather than repeating that. And it didn't do like the standard classical period thing that you would often see where they would literally just put a repeat sign kind of to acknowledge like, okay, we're just doing the same section again. You as a performer try to make it more interesting. Mozart did it, Beethoven did it, everybody did it. It's not an insult to say you could do that. I'm not criticizing that that there's repetition. I'm criticizing that it's kind of a waste of paper, so really that's kind of on the publisher, unless this is an text, which I have no reason to believe that it is. But it would save about half the paper here, and it would be easier to just kind of abbreviate it if you felt like, oh, I don't feel like repeating that, you know. You can just stick to the original section. So I would say if I was going to rate this, like I said I was going to start doing, I think I would give it a 6 out of 10. It's not terrible, but it's certainly not great.